This video is about APA referencing. I'm going to be talking about in-text citations and reference lists. So different times you'll hear professors say, reference your work, or don't forget to include a reference. So what we're really referring to are two different things, both in-text citations and a reference list. So what do in-text citations and a reference list actually look like? Well, I'll show you some examples. So just like the name implies, in-text citations are in the text or in the words or body, the main part of your report or essay. Here are some examples. Some researchers point out that the purpose of hockey does not include violence, and this sends the wrong message to the spectators. Well, you can see here, this is an in-text citation. In the brackets, you have the last name of the author who wrote the article, and then the year. So this is a paraphrase that came from the article by Beauvais. Here's another example. Marascu, 2013, states that both coaches and fans encourage players to be aggressive. Well, here's the author's last name and the year, and you can see that this time the author's last name is included right within the sentence itself. Marascu states that blah blah blah. And so that's a different way of doing it. You've got the author's last name and the year just in brackets, and then you've got both the author's last name and the year in brackets in this case. Those are two examples of in-text citations. Now, a reference list is a list of references that have been used in your essay. So if you've created an in-text citation, then the full reference with all the information needs to be in the reference list at the very end of your essay. Here's an example of a reference list. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different references that were used in your essay, and you've used an in-text citation for these. I'll show you another example in a minute. So within an essay, you'll see some examples of the in-text citation. So there's the one that we were talking about earlier, Beauvais, 2014. And here's another one. This one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different authors listed. The first time you list the authors' names, when it's more than one like this, you list all of them out with a comma, and then 2013 is the year that the article was written. Then, if you're referring to that same article again, you've already listed all 6 of the last names. Then, if you see over here, you just put the first last name that was of the authors plus et al. And et al. Kind of means etc. As in, there's more authors, but we're not writing all 6 names down, just the first one, and then the year as well. And then you'll see some different examples of how in-text citations are used here. This one, I'll just point out, it says point. Well, that's not a last name, but that is the first word of a title. And in this case, the author's name wasn't given, or it's unknown. So we just put the first word of the title of the article. Okay. Here's the rest of this essay. And you can see the reference list is at the end on a separate page. So even though there's probably room here for the references, you never put it right after the essay. You always put it on a separate page. You can see here as well that they're all indented. There's the last name of the author, comma, the first initial of the first name, and then when it was written. And then you can see in italics the title of the article, and the journal it was from, the page number, when it was retrieved from the internet, and then the actual website itself. And that one came from a Fanshawe library. And you can see all the ones that are listed here are ones that I have in an in-text citation within the essay itself. So that's what a reference list looks like at the very end of your essay. Now, depending on what type of resource you use or what kind of source you use, there's different ways of creating an in-text citation or reference list. And in this APA guide, a 6th edition, available on the Fanshawe library website, you can see there's different ways of citing web documents if you got something from the internet, journal, magazine, newspapers that are in print or from online sources, books, ebooks, different supplementary material, audio visuals such as videos, movies, TED Talks, podcasts, etc., lecture notes from a professor or handouts or PowerPoint presentations and how to properly cite that, in-text citation examples, some more examples of how to do in-text citation correctly. So that's available on the Fanshawe Library website, and I encourage you to use it. Well, good luck referencing.